the salsa, you guys. It's gonna be great. We're gonna have a fail-safe method, right? Okay. This is how we're gonna not accidentally mess up this entire thing. It'll be great. Yes. Oh my god, the chat is so tiny. Hold on, can I fix that? Does the chat get better this direction? Man, that is crazy. Yeah, do you guys like the POV gadget? I was going to use it to sign books, but then I decided to sign my books in like the most chaotic room ever. It was like, nah. This really reminds me of that guy that does the ice cream videos. You know what I'm talking about? Where I think he goes to like different Cold Stone creameries or whatever and films a bunch of ice cream content. I think he exclusively does like pop-ins now. Like, I don't think he works for ice cream, like big ice cream anymore. I think he's his own man. There's an important step in the process I like to call being a raccoon. All right. No, supposedly they fixed the fridge so it's no longer going to cut out my signal. Let's see if that's the case. This also has to be made. We're in the beginning stages. That's so perfect now. Oh, I don't know why they put this heavy ass case on that taller shelf, but shout out to coworkers that don't understand leverage. I have to be careful with this sink because it's at the exact right height to just eviscerate me, just disembowel me completely. I'm not prepared to do prep today at all. Gotta prepare for it like I'm doing some sort of medieval joust. I gotta get all my equipment ready. Can't just be going in here all on the fly. My Pismo doesn't get down like that. Get back here, tomato. Okay, these go here because they're already prepped. They're already prepped tomatoes. They don't need to stew. I got a little overzealous. I have it down to a near fine science on all of this. Yeah. Ship salsa with the books. In the future, maybe. I don't know if this one would ship very well, but the apricot one absolutely would. Eesh, that's a little better. Except I can't read the chat. The chat is so tiny on here. Juggle tomatoes? I would have tomatoes all over this kitchen. I have like zero hand-eye coordination. It's a miracle I can even type. Thank God I have 20/20 vision because these chat messages are like you have no idea. This is like size 2 font. Although I am pleased that it's got both the platforms chats on there. That was going to be an issue. Hopefully, when I switch to the iPad, once I get that all charged up, I'll be able to see what you guys are saying a little bit better. That's that sweet, sweet pumpkin chai. Oh, guys, why didn't you tell me this thing is all full of tomatoes? Jesus. You just let me autopilot my way through prep work. This is how you get salt instead of sugar. Except this one's the one that uses all the salt. Wait, is there an option to see the chats on this? No. Actually, he was already here. He just dropped off clear gel for the pies before he goes to train the warriors. It's kind of soft. Only the finest tomatoes for this food prep. No, but for real, if you get like one bad tomato in here, it like throws off the mixture. No, he can't be up here when I'm prepping because he just pesters me the whole time. Because he, like you guys, likes to see me catastrophically fail when I'm cooking these big projects. Bit of an imp, some may say. My coworker was all bummed. I said I was going to come up here earlier, but then I had to do all of the things that I'd planned on doing already. Now I'm up here, honestly, earlier than I thought I was going to be up here. Hopefully means I'll be done faster, which would also mean we can go home and finish out the stream. Because I don't want to take my tarot cards up here, because honestly I'm super messy, and I don't think I could live with the guilt of getting lime juice all over those pretty cards. And digital tarot just, I don't know, it just doesn't hit the same as like the physical cards. I just hope I don't lose power again like I did last time I did prep during a storm. That really sucked. It was like halfway through canning everything, and then all of the power went out, and I was like, well. One day I will have a generator, which is probably just going to be like, I don't know, like a goat attached to a water wheel or something. Like, have you guys ever seen, I want to say it's Clint Eastwood, it's a Clint Eastwood movie, and I want to say it's like a few dollars more or something like that, and he rolls up, and he goes up to this guy's house, and it's not him per se, it's like the bad guy of that particular series. I want to say his name is like Snake Eyes or something like that. And he shows up to this guy's house, and they're eating out of all of this, like, all of these, like, wooden bowls and stuff. Which, by the way, I'm absolutely going to have that in my house. I have such a visceral memory when it comes to that particular set of kitchenware. But anyhow, he comes to these people's houses, and they're eating, like, porridge or whatever out of these wooden bowls. I remember when I was a kid, we had like a similar set of like wooden or maybe bamboo like bowls for salad. And I remember being so jacked every time we used those because it reminded me of that scene. Which in hindsight, probably not appropriate for like an 8-year-old to be like super jazzed about a Western, but loved it. So anyway, he goes to this guy's house, and it's something about like, well, do you know about the gold? The gold. And he murders this guy, but as you approach this guy's house, he has like a donkey attached to a well that's like, I don't know, milling flour or like drawing water up from the well or something. Some sort of mechanism that was like donkey powered. And I really enjoyed that. So perhaps I'll train a goat to create electricity on my farm as well. See, we're going to keep track this time. And that's how we'll know everything's correct. Check out, got some of these babish knives for work. Really beats the hell out of the knives we were using before. Then we remove the outer layer of the onion. And we do the sanitary spin. Get any naughty particles off of that onion. You guys will make sure I don't lose a finger, yeah? That's your job. Your job is to make sure that I have all of my fingers after this. And if I don't, it's your fault. Definitely not my fault for being a clumsy goober. I think more onion. I always think more onion, just in case you were wondering. These are sweet candy onions. I know you're thinking, Riley, why do the onions matter? Well, the onions matter because if you use yellow onions, you get a little bit more heat, but you don't get as much of this like profound sweetness, which is way closer to like a sweet onion than it is. Well, I guess that would be in the name, but yellow onions add a little bit more heat to this than I like. But these are like the perfect amount of sweetness, and they have a really nice bite to them. Probably 10 out of 10 best onion. Let's sanitary spin this onion. All of the vegetables get a little sanitary spin. Because you don't know where they've been. I have an idea. Who knows? What if Rupert's been putting his nasty little Rupert paws all over it? I haven't seen Rupert, come to think of it. I think Rupert probably moved on to different pastures, but I did see Mink yesterday. I was pretty jazzed about that. He took baby deer. I mean, maybe, guys, like, low-key, I'm scared of pigs. Like, I don't know if the first couple of chapters in my book didn't clue you guys in on that, but they, like, deeply trouble me. Not a fan of the porcine variety. I think I would rather have an alligator than a pig, if you really pressed me on it. They're so cute when they're babies, but they're just, like, terrifying when they're big. They eat people, you guys know that? You should know that if you read the book. Bit of a spoiler, kind of, sorta. Alright, now we're gonna do, since we had field onions on here, just give that a rinse just in case. Here. Bite an onion. I feel like you could. I watched something the other day, definitely wasn't Asmongold, absolutely was, that said that if you rub onion juice on your scalp, it'll regrow your hair. And I think that's probably true because I actually put vinegar in my hair to seal up all of the cuticles and stuff. So I think the stinkier your hair, the healthier it is. No, but I mean, if you're not going to leave the house or whatever, like, why not try it? Just weave that into your, like, self-care routine, you know what I mean? You don't necessarily have to do it, like, before you go to work or you're going to hang out with the homies, but, like, give it a try. Why not? This is kind of like VR, just a little bit. Like, I'm trying super hard to be able to, like, see all of this stuff around the camera, but if I just scoot this over here, you can just see right there. Watch me lose a finger trying to do that way. Knives are scary, guys, man. Okay. Now I like to pick the sturdiest peppers, and then I de-seed them, because our foreman, for some fucking reason, thinks that having, like, habanero hot peppers is, like, a godsend, and it isn't. Get out of there. You don't need any more heat in this mild salsa. Just blowing the wigs off of old ladies. It's way too hot. So we make a thing here called cowboy candy, which might not be a thing where you guys are from. And it's basically like well, candied jalapenos. But it's like you cook down jalapenos and you make them into like a syrupy sort of relish situation. And it's really good on like cream cheese and hot dogs and stuff, but it's like way too hot for me. But people here love it, especially those lunatics that like to eat the hot salsa because something is clearly wrong with them. Which scene? Oh no, guys, been distracted. Okay, so these are our mild peppers. They get to go and make merry with all of the tomatoes. Get in there. It's like a vegetable sauce wrap. Yeah, and another funny thing about onions is, everybody says, oh, well, if you don't want to have deer in your fields or whatever, plant onions and peppers. Guess what's in our onion and pepper field right now? You guessed it, yard deer and all of her babies. That's fine, I guess I'll use this one. Yard deer and her merry band of little tiny deer. They're so cute. We have multi-generational deer on our farm, which is pretty nice. I'm super mad that the government won't let me tag them and register them because, I mean, they eat enough that I should be able to claim them, but the government's like, no, you can't have a deer farm in Idaho, and I'm like, I mean, I think that I could manage the deer better than anyone, but once again, the government disagrees with me. Turns out, if you just don't tell anyone anything, you can do pretty much whatever you want. Case in point, Peanut the squirrel. The moment you start telling people everything you're up to, that's a thing that the old heads used to call dry snitching. Now, dry snitching is a situation where you've done told on yourself when you need to, as opposed to regular snitching where you're telling on others. Okay, that's probably the exact correct amount of jalapenos. And now we have the onions, the jalapeno. We need salt and cilantro. Okay. Now I figure out where the cilantro is at. I just took 2 double shots of pumpkin spice straight to the dome, and yet I am still just dragging. Wonder if it's just going to take a minute for that to kick in. It was probably older cilantro. Not really sure why they're storing that, other than my coworkers like to goof on me. They think, oh, inventory manager will take care of this. She manages the inventory. Ugh. Take these beautiful cilantros, which, by the way, cilantro is one of those things that I don't think I would grow ever if I had the option because it is a huge pain. This is so ridiculous. Why is this the hardest knot on the planet? Excellent. See, look at all the dirt. Just like 10,000 pounds of sandy dirt here. Like, do you need more silica in your diet? Because that's how you get it. You really gotta just abuse the cilantro. Otherwise, you're just gonna have a mouthful of dirt. Little onion skin in there. No, thank you. So how about you guys? What have you guys been eating? It better not be garbage. You guys better not be eating garbage. Tell me all of your cheat meals right now. Confess your sins. Who's been eating donuts from the Vietnamese donut shops? Cambodian maybe? Is it Cambodian donut shops? So I also watched a thing the other day that said that some late night Asian community didn't understand that the United States was not like a 24-hour situation in regards to food. So when they immigrated over to the United States, I'll probably link this one in the Discord. When they immigrated to the United States, they started opening up donut shops or whatever. And so they were the only like 24-hour thing that was open. And so cops and like firemen or whatever that were doing their like evening rounds and stuff, they started just like doing their paperwork and getting donuts. And that's also why like the pink donut boxes. I want to say it's Cambodian. Although I want to say it's Cambodians. It's definitely not one of the like when you think of Asians, Asian groups, which there's so many, but no, for sure it's not Koreans or the Japanese. I want to say it's Cambodians, but that's why like Pops and donut shops and stuff has like that pop culture references because it's that specific group of immigrants that came over to the United States. Now I want donuts. This is you guys' fault. I'm directly blaming you guys for my donut affliction. You're just lucky we don't have, first of all, lucky we don't have any Asian donut shops here because that's where I'd be all day long. The boba shop hates to see me coming. I really could go for like an ube matcha right now. Watch me lose a finger shopping cilantro. Absolutely one of the most terrifying herbs. I'd rather do basil. Basil's a lot easier to get along with. Put basil in everything. Basil with chicken. Basil with... I bet you could do basil and beef. I think I've done that. Basil and fish. Basil and goat. Basil and vegetables. Basil with stock. Do I add the cilantro instead of? I don't know. We'll see. Probably. Cilantro's probably good. That's not even all of the cilantro. We have to put so much more cilantro in here. You have no idea. I'm just going to grab up these little cilantro bits. Go and be with your family, cilantro. Okay. Pop the stack over here. Do some more cilantro. Looks like my phone's going to die here soon, so I'm going to switch that over to charging, and I'm going to pop over to the iPad. So we might have a brief intermission while I switch that up, because there's, like, no power up here. I know what you're thinking. What? No power up here? And, yeah, that is the correct way to think about that. But it's fine. It's cool. You guys have just been spoiled by corporations that have power banks and plugins every 5 feet. Big consumer electronics has got us all to think that there should be accessible power everywhere. Actually, I tend to agree with that, but okay. Did we abuse our cilantro enough, guys? Do you think we abused enough? Oh, you know what this would be delicious in? A turkey sandwich. Some spicy Sausalito turkey, avocado, mayo, cilantro, some raw onion. What else?